everybody, this is Ebduu Rhiyourhi, and welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. I am your host, Erikand this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate MLM program. And no, I was just kidding with you. That's not how we open it up, but this is Network Marketing Pro, and I'm here at the Wine Library with Gary Vaynerchuk, superstar of the moment around the world. And I will tell you, for all of you that watch Network Marketing Pro every day, Gary is responsible for the creation of Network Marketing Pro. We sat down here in this office in February of this year, and I paid him $10,000 for a couple hours of time. And I will tell you this, it's some of the best money I ever spent, because a month later, March 11th, we launched Network Marketing Pro. And it started small, and it's grown to become something, the biggest in my niche, but something very substantial.
Niche, by the way.
Niche.
I got yelled at so hard in the UK at a talk I gave the other day.
Well, the UK, they're like,
they were mad.
Particular about the word. All right.
So
anyway, the part of the reason why I'm here, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different things, and but Gary's just come out with a new book called Crush It, and this book you can get for how much?
14 bones.
$14. You can buy this book, and I spent $10,000 just to get a lot of the information that you provided here for $14. A lot of it.
Yeah.
We talked for 2 hours, and we talked about finding the passion and figuring out a way to connect to the audience and bringing content and the different ideas, authenticity, the whole thing. And we're going to talk about some of those things. But the fact that you can get this for $14 is ridiculous. I don't think anything's going to replace consulting time, because somebody can,
because it's detailed.
Yeah, detailed, and it's very specific, and it, like I say, it was really good money spent for me. So if any of you are looking for want to take something and really blow it up, and you can afford it, I would recommend, if you can get your time. I don't even your time's getting a little tough right now.
It's gone.
Yeah. So, and I was just down at VaynerMedia yesterday. Saw the boys down there, and it's a fun little operation. Everybody's busy bees, all on their computers. But I'm going to give you just a little shortcut, some of the background, then we'll talk about it. Gary has had lots of success. Most recently, in the last 2-3 years, you've just kind of blown up, right?
Yeah, there's been a lot more attention, a lot more notoriety, opportunity. It's been a nice run. So
he started off. We'll get into his background a little bit more, but I will tell you, he started a small wine store here with his family wine store.
My dad started a store. And I still always say my dad accomplished a lot more than I ever will. I mean, he came to this country with no language and no money, and built part-owned 2 liquor stores, 78, 80, in 5 years. In 5 years from coming to this country with no money, no cash, he owned 2 liquor stores. So, that's a big deal to me.
Yeah.
So we had a store. It was really on the East End over here, on one level. This is a 3-story, much bigger store.
You should see this place. It's humongous. I've never seen a wine store this
big. You should take some footage.
I will. Yeah, I will. It's crazy.
So then I got involved in my high school years and took over operations when I was 22, and grew the business from a $3 to $4 million a year business to a $40, $50 million a year business in a 7-year period. Now,
I would tell you, growing a wine retail establishment to $50 million a year.
It's hard.
Well, not only is hard. How many? How many? Oh, are you in the top 3 or 4 in the country?
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 or 5 players like us.
Yeah.
In these, and it's hard. As I've learned, retail in comparison to some other opportunities that are out there is difficult.
Yeah. So anyway, Gary has he built up the wine business, did very, very well, and then he started this thing called Wine Library TV. And if you haven't watched it, you should go watch that program. If you're interested in wine, or if you're just interested in branding, go watch that program, because I haven't watched all the shows, but I've watched a lot of the shows. And then he created GaryVaynerchuk.com,
which was important.
Very important, talking about branding and business and ideas and trends and all these different things. And I watched every one of those shows.
Thank you.
And from there, he's kind of he's become a speaker, and he's got, how many people follow you on Twitter today?
850,000.
850,000 people follow you on Twitter, and you've got all this Facebook presence, you've got all this huge traffic. How many people watch your Wine Library TV program?
About 100,000 a day.
About 100,000 people a day to watch a 20 or 30 minute online video wine show.
Drinking wine right here.
Yeah. It's mind-boggling to me. And then you've become a speaker, and you've done a lot of keynotes, and now you're an author.
Yep.
This is the first of a 10-book deal that you just finished, right?
Yep.
And I've gone through this, and I want to talk about some of these different things because
Please.
it's really important for our audience. There's so many branding lessons inside of this, and there's so much community building and personal development and personal growth that's tied into this thing. I've grown so much since I launched my program on March 11th. But one of the big things that you talk about is authenticity. Now, being totally transparent, being totally authentic. There's two camps in this world. One says, fake it till you make it. Just get out there and spin the plates and don't let anybody see behind the curtain. Mm-hmm. And then there's other people who say, like yourself, total authenticity. What do you say to both of those crowds?
Fake it till you make it was awesome, and I believe in it in a lot of ways, pre-2007. We now live in a day of age of flip cams, Twittering, overheards, tweets, Facebook. It is so hard to hide. It is just so hard to hide. And you're in a challenging space. There's a lot of people, my thoughts on this, MLM is a challenging space because there's a lot of negative
perceptions. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, this is the best thing that could happen to MLM because there's a lot of dirty players and they'll get weeded out.
Yeah.
But the ones who are trying to do it legit and for the right reasons, there's some compelling arguments to how people think that corporate America is the same old game and that it is no different and this and that. I like the fact that you can completely put it out there. And whether it's, plenty of affiliate marketers who are full of crap and some are legit. Plenty of coaches, tons full of crap, plenty legit. Businesses, full of crap, legit. Personal brands, full of crap, legit. Exposing the reality of the situation is on an all-time high in this new world. And, if you have a business and you have an assistant and they know a lot about your business and you fire them or they leave, 10 years ago, a newspaper wasn't going to write that article about somebody in the MLM space. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't big enough. Now, a couple tweets, a couple videos, could get picked up by a couple other people, your brand's dead. I love the fact that good is going to win and bad is going to lose.
Right.
And I think it's imperative for people to understand, fake it till you make it. You can play the part. And listen, go bravado, pound your chest and tell people you're going to make it happen. Just falsifying things is not going to work.
I totally agree with you, 1,000%. Now, you've gone through a little bit of a shift in, I wouldn't say a shift in your authenticity, but maybe it is. If you go back and look at the very first Wine Library TV show, Gary's sitting here, hi, my name is Gary Vaynerchuk, and I want to welcome you.
And now I'm yelling.
You. Yes, and he's about 100 shows in,
and I would
there
say
was a shift.
It was about 65.
Okay.
I actually remember the moment. I was scared shitless to lose business in my retail business. And if I was having all the action figures that I love, to put up here on my table, if I was going to have these things sitting here and I was going to talk about the Jets and Macho Man Randy Savage and calling wines cat pee and horse manure, there was definitely an underlying fear for me that I was not going to be able to be considered serious to the people that were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a year buying wine from me. Right. The end.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing else to say.
So, what was the defining moment where you said, I can be me?
When I just said, this isn't me. It just did, and
it's not going to work.
And if you even watch, even after 2 or 3 or 4 episodes, I start, it's truly like, I just felt like there was no value in me not being me because I started really crystal clear seeing the opportunity in building personal brand equity.
All right, cool. Well, let's talk about passion. I mean, this says cash in on your passion. How important is passion in
my opinion, it's the
business?
game. And as a matter of fact, people that are in a lot of businesses, this one for sure as well, I feel are chasing cash. And I truly believe that when you chase cash, you don't end up with it. And more importantly, even if you do, because you've had the DNA to be a good entrepreneur, salesman, you can make it happen, I don't feel that you end up happy. I just don't. There's no 90-year-old laying on their deathbed saying, I wish I made more cash. And more importantly, I ask everybody to think about legacy, because your legacy is much more detailed and being tracked today than it ever was before. So now you don't have to be a famous actor or politician or personality. Almost everybody is virtually creating their legacy.
Right.
And I always say legacy is greater than currency. I really think about decisions that are going to impact me or make my grandkids look at me and say, are they proud? And they aren't. If you do your passion, whether that's, there's a lot of people in, selling products that are watching this.
Yep.
My thing is get into the content business. Now, you're going to say I am passionate about the product I sell, and I respect that. But I will debate that you may be more passionate about other products. You may be more passionate about fishing. You may be more passionate about rock climbing or yoga or gardening or the Cincinnati Reds. I truly, firmly believe that if you take that business savviness and salesmanship that you have and apply it to your passion and create content, whether video, the written word, audio, that you will build a bigger business, because the sweat equity you put in, the 16 hours a day, it's not going to be about building a landing page and SEOing it and converting.
Yeah.
It's not building a real business.
Right.
Oprah and Anderson Cooper don't care about SEO.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I think if people realized how fun it is to talk about the things you love every day.
Well, and here's the let me please. Here's the difference. The difference is when you created Wine Library TV, you weren't doing it to sell more wine.
That's right.
You were doing it to build brand and talk about something that you loved and be able to just kind of rant about it and have fun with it and build community and build brand. So I think a lot of people in the network marketing space, they shortcut it and it becomes dirty marketing.
It's all sprint.
They go straight.
Sprint.
You know what I mean? They go straight for the jugular. Hi, I'd like to meet you. Now I want to sell you something. And everybody just goes, that is so gross. Go away, unfollow, unfriend, leave me alone.
It doesn't work.
Right. Well, it might work for a second for those people who are bombarding people with spam or whatever, but it doesn't give them any joy. It doesn't give them any lasting wealth.
It's prostitution instead of marriage.
Right.
It just is. I mean, it's very obvious that people that play in the speed game, lose.
So let's say that
Tortoise and hare.